the value of 12 cents took down $20 million. In 1972, there was an L-1011 TriStar plane that was flying into Miami. And they're doing all of the checklists to ensure that they can land safely. And so they're going through all of the instruments in the cockpit. And they realize that one light isn't turning on. And that's the landing gear light. And so they take it out. They're seeing maybe the light was placed in incorrectly. And so they're figuring it out. And they're going through all of these procedures. They're so focused on if the problem is the light or if the problem is the fact that the landing gear is not coming down. They didn't know what the specific issue was. And so this plane is slowly descending, but the rate of descent is so subtle that they don't even realize that they're landing this plane in the Everglades. And as a result of this situation, as a result of a 12-cent light bulb that was burned out of 176 people on that flight, 101 people died. This is not the result of a major circumstance. And I think similarly in our lives, we expect things to go downhill as a result of one major circumstance, right? So we plan for situations in life to deal with macro issues. And along the chaos and along all of these things we're planning for in our lives, we give so little attention to the little things that eventually add up, which leads to that destruction. We need to stop looking exclusively at major instances that leads to the failures and the major setbacks that we deal with on a consistent basis, and instead look at the accumulated subtleties that eventually lead to one's ruin. And because we continue to abandon these elements of how we show up, who we are, and the habits that we practice, we find ourselves failing not because something that we saw coming, but something that became so unnoticeable that there was really nothing we could do about it until it was too late. Yes, the root of the plane going down was the result of this 12-cent light bulb, but it was also everyone so hyper fixated on this major situation that people didn't have their eyes on the other elements of the plane that mattered, like keeping it in the air. And so just like the plane unfortunately crashed into the Everglades, we find ourselves falling not because of the things that we are planning for, but because of the things in our lives that we refuse to plan for, that we refuse to prioritize, that we refuse to work on. Don't allow the accumulated subtleties to be the reason why you can't live the life and you can't have the fulfillment and you deal with the major setbacks and the major failures in your life. Prioritize the little things.